Hello viewers, and welcome to Bowles' Theory of Everything. This is the moment you've all been waiting for, a video all about firing. I've called it Grip, Aim, Fire. It's one of the most exciting and game-changing shots in bowls. Whether you need to remove an opponent's bowl, smash the jack off the rink, or rescue your team from a tricky head, a well-executed fire shot can turn the game around in seconds. I've done my fair share of firing, so I'm proud to present my take on the subject. What is firing? It's a fast, powerful shot aimed at the opponent's bowls or the jack. Unlike the draw shot, precision and finesse are key. Firing relies on speed, accuracy and control. It's a high-risk, high-reward shot, and when done correctly, it can completely change the dynamic of an end and the game. Bowlers are ambivalent about firing. Some love the challenge, you can tell I do, the excitement of the shot, and consider it a vital part of their armoury. Other bowlers don't like it. They don't like the brutality and the lack of finesse. They don't like to see their bowls smashed off the rink, all their skillful hard work undone in a flash. Let me know what you think after you've seen this video. Now we're going to look at some heads on the rink where firing, I believe, is a good idea. Here we're faced with 5 of the opposition bowls. For the sake of the demonstration tonight, the good guys, that's me, and my teammates are in red, have red bowls. The bad guys have got the black bowls. So there they are. You're down the other end. A draw doesn't look very good, and they're well clustered, and there's a little bit of a target there. So what you want to aim fast down the middle, and almost any contact is going to split these, clear a path through, maybe go to one of your back bowls, maybe carry the jack through. So there's first one, clump of bowls, and if that comes off, that'll change the shape of the game. You might go to 5 down to 2 or 3 shots up. So that's the first example of where a firing shot would be good. Second one is over on this rink, rink 2. You'll notice lots of red bowls. Okay, the opposition have bowled badly. They've had short bowls, wide bowls, but we're holding 7 bowls. We're a rink, 8 bowls in our rink. Three are on the jack, 4 are behind, but this bowl over here beats all of those 4 bowls at the back. If only we could get rid of that black bowl, then all these 4 bowls at the back will come into play. Now, the easiest way is to fire that off. Now, as long as you are accurate at firing, and really, when you're firing, you shouldn't be any wider than that. There's no danger to hitting your own bowls. If you try and do it gently, that's a harder shot to play. Go straight for it, no deviation on the shot, bang that one off, collect your 7 or 8 shots. Third example is on rink 3. This is where, in fact, you can't get to the jack. The opposition have got these bowls here, and you can't draw it. You can't even put a little bit of a weighted wood. There's a narrow gap. So the only way to get through to there, those shot woods, is a fast bowl straight up the middle. And the fourth one is coming up when I've changed the heads. So I'll be with you in a minute. Fourth option here, the fourth time I would fire rather than draw. And in this is slightly different to the first 3. There is a draw on here, but it's the last shot of the match. We're all square, and you've got 2 options. One is you've got to draw within 2 inches. And again, I'll put that there. There is a way, there is a drawing option. The draw, you've got to bowl through here and settle into here next to the jack. And some people will do that if they're totally confident in their drawing ability and they're not the best firers. But me, I would go straight for that and aim to knock the shots out. Okay, I might have got a backward, might not. What I'm going to do, my theory is that under pressure, what is easier to do a beautifully controlled draw, which to within inches, where you've got to throw the bowl out wide and come back in through that gap, or fire down the middle. The fire down the middle, when you're a good firer, you will hit that target, guaranteed. You've only got one variable, the width. The weight doesn't matter, you're straight down. When you're drawing, you've got to control the width and the weight together. And the margin for error on the firing, believe it or not, is far, far less, as I'll demonstrate later, because you're bowling straight up the middle. And don't worry about the back bowl. Some people in the game, they say, oh, we've got no back bowls, no back bowls. But if you're several shots down, then, and you clear those shots, that's enough. I'm for bold, positive play, and that's an example. You go for it. I'll be with you in a minute. Mechanics of firing to produce those match-winning shots I've just described. Grip and stance are the main things. You need to hold the bowl so it's not going to fall out. You've got a longer backswing, a faster one, so not like the draw, it needs a good grip. It's not going to fall out. However, your grip mustn't be so firm that you can't release it. So it has to be relaxed, yet hold it firm. I'll demonstrate that later. The other thing is being upright or down. Some people like to generate the power from down here, but a lot of the great bowlers have an upright stance, starting with the most famous of all, David Bryant. And his theory was that if you started with an upright stance and delivered it from an upright stance, a bit like 10-pin bowling. In fact, think of 10-pin bowling. The firing shot is closer to that than lawn green bowling's. It's fast down the middle with not much deviation. I know 10-pin bowling has a hook, but that aside, 10-pin bowling is target bowling, same as the firing shot. Being an upright stance, it separates it from the more conventional drawing shot, and that, I believe, gives you a better chance to revert to drawing after you've fired, because there is a convention that says, oh, somebody's fired, his next bowl is going to be way past the head, lost the touch. But if you do it separately like that, I believe that isn't the problem. So, as usual, the long, straight backswing, control, follow through, full extended follow through. Focus on the line, not the weight. As I said with our demonstrations, that's one thing you don't have to worry about, the line. It's the weight and just how far wide of the target, but it's not very far. Unlike the draw shot, you're just hitting. And instead of aiming several feet, maybe 2 or 3 meters wide on some greens, you're aiming only a foot wide, 2 feet wide maybe. It's a combination of how long the target is, how far away it is, with how fast you're doing it. The faster you do it, the narrower you have to aim. So I try and do it fairly fast, and I look at about 1 foot off the target for a short jack, and maybe 2 feet, 2.5 feet on a long jack. And that's what I'm going to demonstrate to you next. I'll set it up. Okay viewers, I'm down the other end of the rink, quite a long jack. I'll be aiming 2 feet wide of the middle target, and see, hopefully hit one of those middle bowls. Upright stance, fire. Straight on the middle. Okay, you don't have to show. Rink 2, I'm now brought the mat up, so I'm aiming about a foot wide of that bowl, and the black bowl there, and if that goes, it brings in 4 other red bowls. So I'm aiming just to the just wide of it. Off I go. Coming down to see, oh, look at all my shots. Thanks very much. This end to close with some drills and tips for firing. Thanks to the camera person, my wife there. It's dangerous being close to the head. You have to warn people if you're going to fire because the bowl jack fly everywhere. So when you first start, don't have to bowl it as fast as I did then. Bowl at kind of 3/4 pace if you like. Don't lose control. And as you practice, you're able to up your speed, and you up your speed until you feel you can't control that. But in the meantime, that's what you do. I think a lot of people do a 3/4 pace. Now, I'll mention the 3/4 pace in a minute, but that is hard. When the bowl's going to swing that much, you know, it adds to the variation, adds to the difficulty. So try and get the power, but don't lose control. Practice that, practice the timing, because when you adding that speed, the point of release, the timing of the release is very important. It'll either bang into the ground or bang up there, and you'll lose control. And I've already mentioned the grip, but when you start to practice, you'll know whether the bowl is beginning to slip out or whether you're hanging on to it too far. And when you want to practice firing, the easiest is just to put a jack down there and have that as a target, and you can work out at whatever speed you are, however short or long your mat is, you can work out exactly what it is. I had a rule of thumb, as I said, short jack, foot, long jack, 2 foot. And that's pretty good because hopefully you've got a bit of a target to aim at, except when you're aiming at the single bowl. What are the advantages? Well, as you've seen, it can dramatically change the head. 1 minute your opponent have got 4 shots, the next minute, hopefully, their shots down. It's very dispiriting for the other side. It can unnerve them, put them off their game. Another one, which might seem a bit odd, but I've been in games, singles mainly, where I've started off very tentatively. Drawing hasn't been, it's been a bit, because I've perhaps been a bit tense. And then somebody puts 3 shots on the bowl, on the jack rather, and it's perhaps not in theory, the best thing to fire and shoot those bowls off. However, I found if you can do that and hit those shot woods, you can change the course of the game. But not only that, I found it kind of loosened you up, relaxed you, and that happened to me several times. There is a disadvantage that, yes, you can miss it, but more often or not, you will succeed if you practice and practice. My memories of firing shots, I have a lot. And when I look back over 50 years, some of my clearest memories are of firing shots. Not the drawn bowls, not those yard-on bowls. No, the firing shots. They've turned around several of my important singles games. I loved it. As I said, I'm a bit of a gambler, and that was a bit of a gamble, and I loved it. Yes, failed a few times, but I remember those good ones. As I grow older and play in a more gentler game, the toe crusher firing shot isn't so appropriate when we're getting a bit older and can't move out the way as quickly. So I'm going to probably revert to that 3/4 speed I mentioned firing shot, which is harder, but I will always remember those firing shots. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to Bowles' Theory of Everything. More tutorials coming next time. Until then, good bowling and happy firing. Bye bye.